Hey, how's it going, Henry?
Hey Adam, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy that I get to talk to you. I've actually mentioned in a lot of our LLN internal meetings with Sean and the other officers in the company that I was pumped to get to talk to you because I've been observing you teach since like 2018, 2019. It's been a long time. I've gone to Bloomfield, I think at least twice to observe you teach, but like back
Yeah,
in the day.
yes, you did. Yeah, actually, it was in 2018. Yes,
Yeah,
when I
before COVID.
started working with you guys. Yes,
And I think it was also both times I got to observe you was before COVID. You got big classes, man. I don't know how you do it.
yes. Almost is the same thing. I have more than 10 classes. Oh, probably more than that. Yes, but I'm so happy to be able, to teach in this case Spanish, and yeah, I'm really grateful for that.
Nice, man. So to that end, I wouldn't ask to interview you unless you were one of like the better teachers that we have here at LLN, and I know that from seeing you teach firsthand. But to that end, Henry, what made you become a teacher in the first place, man?
All right, well, thank you. Thank you. Why did I become a teacher? Well, I became a teacher because I remember since I was a kid, I remember that I used to play with my friends. So, and I used to be, the teacher, and I remember that I used to be teaching them, things, the
Like you
vowels
would
in
play
Spanish.
pretend school, basically.
Yeah, like role plays. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I used to co-teach my friends. They were kids as well, just like me, 7 years old, 8 years old. Yeah, same age.
What subject were you pretending to teach them when you were doing like the role play?
It is curious. Now that I'm thinking about this, I was teaching Spanish. I remember once in one class I used to I was teaching them the vowels in Spanish. And you see me now, I'm a Spanish teacher.
Yeah, so you started. That's cool. You started getting practice in and started getting in reps at an early age. That's how you do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you speak any other languages besides English, Italian, and Spanish?
Well, I am learning Portuguese. I could say that I speak 35%, probably more than that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm still learning Portuguese. It will be the fourth language that I speak.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I love languages.
already knowing Spanish, I would imagine, has to make it easier to learn Portuguese, correct? Or no?
Yes, yes, but also at the same times could be challenge. It could be a challenge to be learning Portuguese as well, because in my case, I know Italian, I know Spanish, and sometimes there are these same words, but they mean, they are false cognates. So sometimes it's a headache, and I used to get confused between Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese when I'm trying to speak or to say something in Portuguese. Wait a minute, is this like Spanish? Is this like Italian? So yeah, so it depends.
Gotcha. Oh, false friends and false cognates. There's a lot of those in French, which I teach. A lot of false cognates. Henry, when you were in college, did you study specifically to become a Spanish teacher when you were at the university level?
Yes, when I went to university, I enrolled the School of Languages of my university, and I started learning. I'm sorry, Spanish, English, and Italian at the same time. Sorry, I already know Spanish. I mean, like for becoming a Spanish teacher.
Of course.
So yeah, and I got my bachelor's degree in languages in education.
Nice. Which university was this?
Oh, it was in Ecuador. It was in Quito, the
Yeah.
capital. Universidad Central del Ecuador, Central University of Ecuador.
Nice. And
Yes,
was
it
that
was.
close to where you grew up?
No, actually, you know what? I was born in the coast, next to the Pacific Ocean, and I lived there until my until when I was 17. Then when I got graduated from high school, I moved to Quito to, in order to study, to go to do the university.
And just
Yes,
remind everybody at LLN where you're living right now.
I am living in Roselle, New Jersey right now.
In Roselle, New Jersey. Gotcha.
Yeah,
You're
North.
not too far from me. I'm in Bayonne, right next to Jersey City. So, moving away from all the teaching related stuff, Henry, are you watching anything right now on Netflix? Any shows?
All right. I have been watching many series and movies on Netflix, but right now just I'm watching The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Awesome.
Yes. Yes, it is catchy, at least for me, because I'm really like, the zombies,
The zombie
gore, and
stuff.
all those things. And by the way, I'm addicted to Resident Evil games on PlayStation. And but I'm also watching many documentaries about languages, about traveling, and about cooking on YouTube.
That's
Sorry.
actually a perfect transition into the next thing that I was going to ask, since you bring up the cooking shows on YouTube, is what's your favorite food? And are you watching like stuff on YouTube on how to make it?
Yes, of course. I'm watching cooking shows and talking about favorite food. Being honest, I don't think I have a favorite food. I like to try everything, even bizarre food sometimes. It is something cultural, and we have to be respectful with that. And I also, yeah, I even try bizarre food sometimes when in the countries that I have been. And if I have to say, maybe my top three about favorite food will be probably Latin, Italian in second place, and then first Ethiopian food.
Oh, Ethiopian food. Yeah. What would you say is the
Well,
most bizarre thing that you ever ate? I lived in Japan in my childhood, and there was boiled shark. That's probably my most bizarre food was boiled shark meat. What about you?
I was invited to for some friends, and they gave me like for eating turtle. Yeah.
What did they lie to
It
you
was
and say that it was something else? Like, here, Henry, it's
I
chicken.
yeah, they told me it was beef.
Oh goodness.
So yeah, I was thinking, in my mind, just for myself, I was, this beef is really good. It's tasty.
Yeah, a little strange, but it's good. This quote unquote beef.
Yes.
Awesome. Are you reading anything right now, Henry, or are you like me where you don't have time to read because of teaching? I love to read. It's my favorite hobby, but I have no time to right now. What about you?
I like reading, but I'm not reading right now because I have been so busy the last couple of months. But the last book that I read was Ensayo sobre la ceguera, or blindness in English, the
Okay.
one that was written by Jose Saramago.
Oh, nice. Is he an Ecuadorian author?
I'm not sure if he's from Brazil or from Portugal. I
Okay.
always get confused between those two countries,
Oh,
and
it's
I
written in
don't know.
Portuguese.
Yeah, it's Portuguese. Yeah, it's Portuguese. It's a Portuguese book.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're in the same boat as me. May is such a busy month for teachers. May is the worst.
It
There's
is.
no free
It
time, man.
is. It's such a busy. Yeah, I know. It's the end of the school year, so sometimes it's a craziness. Everybody is worries, graduations. Yes, of course. And
All the
also we have to.
graduation, all the reports are due. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, in the rare event that you have free time, Henry, what is it you like to do besides watch zombie shows and teach
I like cooking. I
cooking? Yeah,
like
me too.
cooking and traveling. I like I used to cook like 3 times per week, I will say.
Mhm.
And also when I have the opportunity, free time, I like traveling.
Traveling.
So
Cool.
yeah, those are my two hobbies.
Yeah. What would you say is the most unique country that you've traveled to?
I have visited just 10 countries so far. I would say that I fell in love with Portugal. Yeah,
Portugal.
I like they're very friendly. they're warm people. I really like, and you know what? The thing is also that I really like Portuguese. The nasal sounds that they have in that language that
Okay.
drives me crazy.
When you went to Portugal, had you
Sorry.
already started studying Portuguese? Like, were you able to speak Portuguese with them?
Yeah,
Or-
actually, I started learning Portuguese from Brazil. So
Oh,
when I
okay.
went, but you know,
Different dialect, different
this
accent.
is funny. Yeah, this is funny because I was learning Portuguese from Brazil, but I haven't gone to Brazil. I haven't been to Brazil yet. So I went first to Portugal and I was like, I know the accent was different, but it was the way that I learned. So it was like bom dia instead of bon dia, like they say.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was funny, but it helped me a lot.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, now you know both of the accents. Perfect.
yeah, it's not. But you know what? I'm going to Brazil this summer. So I'm so
Oh,
happy and
man,
yeah, I'm so
jealous.
like it.
Do you listen to much music in Portuguese too to help you learn it?
Yes, I listen to Portuguese music and yeah, I really like music. So I used to be, listening to music every single day of my life. English, Portuguese, Italian, Spanish.
Yeah, perfect, man. So, moving away from hobbies and those sort of things, I'm sure a lot of the people at LLN listening to this would like to know just sort of more about you and your teaching experience here at LLN. Do you have a favorite activity that you like to do with your students? Like a favorite assignment that you give them?
Well, a favorite activity that I used to do with my students, it will be, you know what? I really enjoy to do the speaking activities.
Mm,
When they start to put in practice everything that they have learned, for me it's really is a it's really nice. It's so good to listen how they start making, creating new sentences in the target language, in this case in Spanish. I really like and enjoy that part of the teach and learning process. Yes, when they start speaking the language.
gotcha. And you got younger students too.
Yes, my younger students they are 3 years old.
Mm, my wow.
Uh, yeah, so with them, it's not a formal teaching learning process. It's just we were like acquisition of the language. So it's also it is really really nice to hear how they start making the sentences. Now they can say buenos dias, señor Montoya. Now they know how to count numbers. Three, I'm talking about kids, 3 years old, so they know now how to count in Spanish from 0 to 39 to 50 in Spanish, and they have a really nice pronunciation, and it's just so magical. It's so beautiful.
I'm sure. Yeah, I can't count to 39 in Spanish, so it's just as well. Um,
Actually, it's my time for playing, for having for having fun.
yeah. No. Henry, during all the time that you've been a teacher, would you say that you have any like role models or other teachers or people you've met that have been like any kind of inspiration to you in education?
Yes, of course. And I think we all teachers we have, role models to follow. I remember my first teacher in elementary school.
Hmm.
Her name was Pilar Guayasamín. Until now, I remember her name. He was so kind. For me, was a excellent teacher. So yeah, I remember my teacher in my elementary school, and also, talking about this, I really like also Noam Chomsky. Dylan,
The author, yeah.
yes. So yeah, I have some role models.
Noam Chomsky, yeah. Have you ever, I guess you've read a lot of Noam Chomsky's books. So intellectual. I have a difficult time digesting his books when I read them.
Yes, yes, it is. Sometimes it could be difficult, You know what? The most important part that it is here in my brain about Noam Chomsky is uh, that he says that all the languages are connected in certain way, and the grammar is related.
Yeah.
And now that I'm a teacher, uh, I, I said, yeah, that's true. Not just is and now is now like the father of the modern linguistics, and now I know why.
Of course. Ah, it's very cool. Um, so Henry, for myself, had I not ever become a teacher, I was actually going to join the military. Thankfully, it didn't work out that way, and I'm a teacher instead. But what do you imagine you would be doing right now if you weren't a teacher?
I will be a chef.
You would be a chef? Oh, perfect, because you
Yeah.
like cooking. That works out that way.
Yeah, I will be a chef, cooking, actually a traveler chef,
Mm.
cooking and traveling and discovering new flavors.
You'd probably have your own TV show,
Probably, who knows?
La Cocina con Henry, or something.
La cocina con Henry, disfruta de los sabores latinos around the world.
I love
No
it. I'd
sé.
watch it. Perfect, dude. All right, man. Well, Henry, we're already getting towards the end of this interview podcast. So, for everything related to LLN, could you tell everybody listening how long have you been working for LLN at this point?
Okay, so it will be 19, 21, 2, 3, 5 years, 5 años.
5 years?
Yes.
Blows my mind. It's for me. It's been a long time too. I can't believe it. It's flown by. And could you tell everybody who's listening what your current role and position is at LLN?
Well, right now I'm working as a Spanish teacher, and also I develop content.
Content.
Yeah.
Spanish and Italian, correct?
Yeah, yes, Spanish and Italian. Yes.
Right. As many of us, Sean found me on Craigslist a very long time ago. How did you meet Sean?
I met Sean on Indeed.
On Indeed? Okay.
Yes, it was, yeah, in 2018. Yes, I was looking for a job. You know what? I came here in 2017. Then I was waiting for some, paperwork to do, and then when I was ready to work, I met John. Yes.
Gotcha. Right. And also to that end, I feel that out of all the things I've learned from Sean, the thing I've learned the most is how to use Google Suite. Everything that Google Suite offers, like Google Slides and Google Docs, and how that all those apps work. For yourself, would you say there's like the most memorable thing that you've learned since working at LLN, either from Sean or just from the company?
I think that I have become an interactive teacher right now because our curriculum is very interactive. So we have many activities to do with the students. They don't get tired of being taught. And
Thank goodness.
also now with LLN, I have been, putting in practice the acquisition method. For
Mm,
example, with my students who are like 3 years old, 4 years old, we don't do a formal teaching learning process. We don't teach them like formally, but instead of that, it's like more just we're working with a kind of acquisition method. Sorry.
there you go. Sean is very big on the language acquisition method as well. Henry, to close things out for the most part, is there anything that you would just like for all the other teachers at LLN to know about you specifically?
Well, I like cooking, I like teaching, I like traveling, and I'm very shy.
Well,
Yeah, but I'm when I'm teaching, I don't know, but I
yeah,
transform
you
myself.
did not seem shy when I watched you teach. You would never ever guess that you were timid at all to observe you teach.
Magic happens.
You're very sociable with the kids.
Yeah. And so yeah, I transform myself. Magic happens, but when I'm not inside of the classroom when I am not teaching, I am shy.
Gotcha. And also, finally, out of all the years you've been teaching, whether it's been with LLN and it's been with Sean, or before that, do you have like one specific moment? I know it's hard because there's so many, but just one that like sticks out, like your most memorable teaching moment?
Something that I have now in mi cabeza is that I was teaching, the 3 years old kids, uh, the colors. And I said, red is rojo, and they already they learned that. And then in one class, one boy asked me, "Hey, Señor Montoya, I have a question. So red is rojo?" And I say, "Yes." And then he said, "So how do you say car in Spanish?" And I say, "Carro." And he replies, "Oh, so it's rojo carro." So he was making the connections. He was making
He was already trying to put things
the
together and make it.
grammar, put in that, and that kind of sentence in a second language is sometimes it's hard for them to make them right. And yeah, it is a memorable um time that I had with this boy.
Yeah,
I was thinking during the whole day about this. Oh, that's a good um question, and it was a good sentence actually, yeah, he made.
of course. It was, I'm sure it was wonderful to like see him like trying and like really putting forth an effort to like piece everything together.
Yeah, he was connecting. Yeah, he was connecting the nouns and the adjective.
And only 3 years old, you said?
Yeah, he is 3 years old. Well, he
Wow.
was 3 years old at that time.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I teach the high school kids. I have no skills whatsoever with the younger kids. That's not my, I don't know how you do it. God bless you.
Thanks. I didn't have those skills before. I didn't know that I was able, but I'm really happy teaching 3 years old kids or 4.
Well, Henry, I can't thank you enough for taking 40 minutes out of your day to talk to me. I know you're a busy guy because you have such big classes and you have teach so many classes for LLN and you have so much to do. But this has been wonderful. And I'm sure that anyone listening to this has a lot that they can take away from this. And I really hope you have a great Wednesday, man. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me, Adam. Thank you for this podcast, for this conversation. Thank you so much.